Camila Cabello was one of the biggest artists of the late 2000s. With hits like Havana, Señorita, amongst others, everyone thought she would have gotten even bigger than she was at the time. However, fast forward to a decade after she announced she's leaving Fifth Harmony, and today she is pretty absent from the charts. So the question is, what happened? Why did Camila's last projects underperform compared to her huge debut album? Were there too many scandals and controversies around her that the public just checked out? In today's videos, we'll look over the reasons why that happened. Let's dive in. Camila got her breakthrough moment after auditioning for the X Factor, and after the judges put her in a group with 4 other girls called Fifth Harmony. While they were on the show, people started noticing Camila the most, including the judges. Camila was quickly labeled as the Beyoncé of the group. If you don't know what that means, it's basically a member of the group that holds the most star power and potential to have their breakthrough solo career moment away from their band. While Camila was in the group, there were a couple of scandals that happened.
She is, let's see, Camila. Very quirky. Quirky? Yeah, very quirky.
Camila fans were harassing the other members on Twitter, causing the tensions to rise between the girls. While in the group, Camila worked on solo projects like songs with Shawn Mendes and Machine Gun Kelly. And then, on December 19, 2016, Camila announced her departure from Fifth Harmony. Camila stated that she felt creatively limited on the group and would pursue a solo career. So on May 19, 2017, she released her debut solo single that was co-written by Sia, Crying in the Club. And 3 days later, another promotional single called I Have Questions. Crying in the Club did not meet expectations, as it peaked at 47 on the Billboard Hot 100. Camila had hype for months, so this was disappointing at the time. However, Camila was just getting started. On August 3, 2017, she released 2 songs, the promotional single OMG and a little song called Havana, featuring Young Thug. Havana quickly became the public's favorite song and became the official lead single of Camila's debut self-titled album. The song was stable on the Billboard charts for months, finally reaching #1 the week her self-titled album was released, which also debuted at #1 on the Billboard 200 with 119,000 copies sold in its first week. Camila became the 3rd artist in chart history to top both the Hot 100 and Billboard 200 for their first time in the same week, after Britney Spears and Beyoncé did so in 1999 and 2003, respectively. The album spawned another top 10 hit with Never Be the Same. Things were looking good for Camila, as in 2019, she released her second collaboration with Shawn Mendes titled Señorita. She would also release her second studio album, titled Romance, at the end of the year. However, 2019 was filled with scandals for Camila. She started a very public relationship with Shawn Mendes, demonstrating major PDA, causing the public to slowly be turned off by Camila, unfortunately. Both Camila and Shawn would receive a ton of backlash online for their relationship, most of which called it a PR stunt. However, this was not the tip of the iceberg. Around the time Camila released her second album, users online found Camila's old Tumblr account, in which she reposted and engaged in very racist posts against Black and Asian people. Those posts were from the time Camila was 14 to 15 years old, and boy, this was what haters were waiting for. Camila had her fair share of scandals prior to this, but this was the moment so many fans started disengaging with her and stopped supporting her music. Camila apologized for the posts, saying, quote, "I used language I'm deeply ashamed of and will regret forever. When I was younger, I used language I was deeply ashamed of and will regret forever. I was uneducated and ignorant, and once I became aware of the history and the weight and the true meaning behind this horrible and hurtful language, I was deeply embarrassed I ever used it. I apologized then, and I apologize again now." However, people were not here for her apology. Her ex-bandmate Normani addressed questions about Camila, saying, quote, "It took days for her to acknowledge what I was dealing with online, and then years for her to take responsibility for the offensive tweets that recently resurfaced. Whether or not it was her intention, this made me feel like I was second to the relationship that she had with her fans." All of the scandals would take a toll on Camila's career. In 2022, she released Familia, her third studio album, which debuted at number 10 on the US Billboard 227,500 copies. A huge decline from her previous release Romance, which sold 54,000 copies first week. However, the album spawned hit songs, with Don't Go Yet in collaboration with Ed Sheeran titled Bam Bam. With her next release, Camila would try to rebrand her image. Dyeing her hair blonde and experimenting with a new sound, it seemed Camila was on her way for a huge comeback. However, that unfortunately was not the case. Prior to the lead single, I Love It, being released, Charli XCX posted a video shading Camila, insinuating that Camila was copying her style. This began conversations online, and listeners started drawing the comparisons as well. This affected the album's inception. The album became her first to miss the top 10 of the Billboard 200 chart, selling 36,000 copies in its first week. The singles didn't do well either. Camila would be caught up in yet another scandal. Fans started speculating that Camila, Shawn Mendes, and Sabrina Carpenter were caught up in a love triangle in 2023. In 2024, Sabrina would release Taste, and the video fueled the speculations. When the video was released, fans believed Jenna Ortega was portraying Camila. In a September 2024 performance, skipped the word taste while singing her song Señorita, a duet with Mendes, which many saw as a response to Sabrina's song. As you may have noticed, there has been controversy tied with every Camila album so far. All of these scandals unfortunately affected Camila's career and image. You know how the internet loves canceling celebrities over their problematic pasts. In my opinion, I think other artists, especially male artists, have had way bigger scandals. However, they don't get canceled the same way Camila has by so many people. I'm not justifying her problematic past at all, and I completely understand why people are ticked off by her behavior in the past. This does not change the fact that Camila has a very loyal fan base that will continue to support her and her music in the future. But hey, these are just my 2 cents. What do you think? Was the internet too harsh on Camila? Make sure to leave your thoughts in the comments and make sure to like and subscribe to support the channel. Until next time.